The minions might look harmless, but their movies are secretly chaos factories. From vanishing props to timeline fails, these are 12 mistakes you never saw in Minions movies. Trust me, once you spot them, you can't unsee them. Let's dig in. Number 1, Gru's age mix-up. So here's the thing about Gru. The movies just cannot make up their mind about how old he's supposed to be. Officially, he was born in 1960. That means during the moon landing in 1969, he should be 9 years old, which checks out. But then in The Rise of Gru, they show him as this tiny little kid going to watch Jaws in theaters. The problem is Jaws came out in 1975. Do the math, and Gru should have been 15, not running around like a baby-faced elementary schooler. It's like the writers wanted the nostalgia of Jaws but forgot the timeline. So now Gru's age makes 0 sense. Either he's secretly aging backwards, or the Minions universe has the most chaotic calendar ever. Honestly, I kind of respect the chaos at this point. Number 2, British currency decimal inaccuracy. The Minions movies aren't trying to be accurate history, but this one mistake is so funny if you catch it. The story in London is set in 1968, and everything seems fine until they show the money. They're using modern pounds and pence like today's currency system. The problem is, Britain didn't switch to that until 1971. Back then, people were using shillings and farthings, totally different coins, so the movie just throws in money that literally didn't exist yet. Most people won't notice, but once you know, it's impossible to unsee. It makes the whole timeline feel wobbly, like the Minions just raided someone's modern wallet. Instead of 60s authenticity, you get this hilarious mashup of eras. The Minions definitely don't care about math or money, but man, this one's a gem. Number 3, the 4-stick Nunchaku. Nunchaku is supposed to be one of the coolest members of the Vicious Six. She's got that iconic weapon, 2 sticks chained together, super slick martial arts style. Except in one chase scene, the whole thing goes completely off the rails. Instead of the normal 2, her weapon suddenly looks like it's got 4 sticks spinning around like some busted carnival ride. It doesn't even look threatening anymore. It just looks goofy, like the animators lost control of the design and thought, no one will notice. Spoiler, we did. When you slow the scene down, it's actually hilarious because it turns her dangerous weapon into something that looks like it belongs at a fairground. Honestly, I couldn't take her seriously after that. She went from Kung Fu Master to someone swinging a broken toy around. Number 4, Stuart's disappearing arrows. This one cracks me up every single time. Stuart is dressed up as one of the 3 pigs for Scarlet Overkill's crazy fairy tale routine, and out of nowhere he gets blasted with a bunch of arrows that stick right out of his back. It looks ridiculous, like he just turned into a walking dartboard. But before you can even blink, the arrows are completely gone. No gag where he pulls them out, no cartoon sound effect, nothing. They just vanish like magic. So now it looks like Stuart has some insane healing powers nobody ever told us about. Honestly, if Minions could regenerate wounds like that, they've been hiding way too many secrets. The scene was already goofy, but this mistake makes it 10 times better. Stuart's basically out here being Wolverine without the claws, just with squeaky little goggles. Number 5, color-changing girl. The funniest thing happens when Otto is walking around with that shiny zodiac amulet. Forget him for a second and check the little girl in the background. She's in this bright yellow dress, super easy to spot. The first time we see her, she's definitely black. Then boom, when the kids show up again, she's suddenly white. Same outfit, same vibe, just completely switched skin tone like she hit a reset button. It's not a new character or some secret twin either. It's literally the same girl flipping colors in seconds. Once you notice it, you cannot stop staring at her instead of Otto. It's like she's the real magician in the scene. Honestly, it feels like the Minions universe just invented teleporting wardrobes and skin shaders. The poor animators really thought nobody would catch that, but it's way too funny. Number 6, Bob's goggles material change. So you know how the Minions are never without their goggles? Well, Bob's goggles decided to play dress up. When he's on the boat, they're this super fancy golden brass color, shining like he's trying to flex on everyone. Then as soon as they get to shore, the goggles are suddenly silver, all polished steel vibes. No scene shows him switching them, no goofy gag about fashion, nothing. They just magically change like he's got a whole new set. And because goggles are literally the Minions' trademark look, it's so obvious. It's just a continuity slip that makes it look like he's got an unlimited goggle collection. Imagine if every Minion had mood goggles like that. More chaos. Number 7, daylight to darkness transition. The lighting in this scene makes me laugh so hard. Scarlet Overkill is pulling off this huge coronation escape, and at first everything looks normal. Bright blue sky, shadows on the ground, all daytime vibes. Then suddenly, literally in the next shot, it's full on nighttime, like someone just flipped a giant light switch and skipped the entire sunset. There's no in between, no time passing, nothing. 1 second sunshine, next second total darkness. It completely throws you off because instead of paying attention to the action, you're busy wondering who accidentally fast forwarded the sky, as though the editors were running out of time and just thought, let's go straight to night, nobody will care. But it's way too obvious. The whole thing ends up looking more like a TikTok transition than a dramatic movie moment. Number 8, Kevin's eye color. So Kevin, you know, the tall minion with the big 2 eyes, should be easy to keep consistent, right? Nope. 1 minute his eyes are this dark brown, looking totally normal, and then in another shot, they randomly go greenish, like he's wearing some cheap contacts. And it's not even the lighting messing around, because it happens in scenes where nothing else changes. It's like the animators forgot what color they made his eyes and just rolled with it. Once you spot it, you can't stop thinking Kevin is secretly flexing different looks every 5 minutes. Like, brown for today, green for tomorrow, who cares? Out of all the continuity slips, this one feels like he's just testing out a whole new minion fashion line. Dude basically invented the first eye makeup trend without even trying. Number 9, Mystery Tree Shadow. This one's sneaky but so funny. Otto is playing outside with a bunch of kids, running around in the sunshine, everything looking all bright and cheerful. Then he falls, and suddenly there's this massive tree shadow stretching across the ground. But the problem is there was never a tree there in the first place. It just pops up like it teleported into existence. 1 second it's clear, the next second there's shade everywhere. Instead of worrying about Otto falling, you're busy asking where this mystery tree came from. The shadow is way too big to ignore, and it looks so random. It feels like the animators wanted dramatic shading and forgot they didn't actually draw a tree in the shot. So now it looks like Otto is being haunted by invisible trees. Low-key the funniest jump scare ever. Number 10, Mystery Duct Tape. At VillainCon, Bob wants to prove he belongs with all the scary bad guys, so he grabs some duct tape and tries to toughen up his teddy bear. It is a funny little moment, but here is the weird part. If you look closely at the table he is standing by, there is absolutely no duct tape sitting there in the earlier shots. Then suddenly, when the joke needs it, the roll just magically appears like the animator spawned it out of thin air. It works for the laugh, but if you are paying attention, it is kind of like a glitch in the cartoon universe. The duct tape basically teleports onto the table, and once you notice it, you cannot unsee it. Number 11, Gru meets Dr. Nefario. Gru and Dr. Nefario's friendship is just so confusing. In the first Minions movie, little Gru is already hanging out with a younger Nefario at the villain convention. They're just chilling like they've been best buds forever. But then the rise of Gru decides to flip everything. Suddenly it shows Gru meeting Nefario for the very first time, and Nefario even gives him his first gadget like it's the start of their whole friendship. So which one is it? Did they know each other before or not? The two stories completely clash, and now their history is basically impossible to figure out. It's like the movies forgot what they already showed us and just made up something new. The inconsistency is hilarious because it makes their backstory feel like fan fiction, and even Gru probably can't keep track anymore. Number 12, Minions no-nose oxygen logic. Serious question, how do the minions even breathe? They've got mouths but no noses, so already that's confusing. But the funniest moment is when Scarlet Overkill tapes their mouth shut. Like, that should be game over, right? They should be gasping and freaking out, desperate for air. But nope, they're totally fine. Bouncing around like oxygen is just optional. It makes no sense at all, but it's hilarious because the movie just acts like it's normal. The minions eat, laugh, scream, and cry, but apparently breathing doesn't apply to them. So what's the secret? Do they breathe through their skin like sponges? Do they not even need air? Nobody knows, but the gag makes you question their entire biology. At this point, the minions are just built differently. They're basically immortal cartoon potatoes with googly eyes. And it's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. Which of these mistakes stood out to you? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next episode.